Welcome to a new year, right? Or maybe some of you have been continuing to go. Hello. Oh, it's so good to see everyone. We have Robin, we have Melissa, Isabella, Joshua, Sharon. You're always at the beach. I love it. I'm going to come visit you. Giselle, hello. And Nicole, Megan. Awesome. And we are also live on YouTube as well. And it looks like all of our other things are on. Okay, just quick little logistics before we get started. I'm only recording myself locally on my screen, so I can put this later. So I'm not recording any of you. Y'all get thrown in the trash when we're done. And I mean that nicely. So Zoom is not being recorded or anything, but just in case you would like it, I do have an archive now. One of my summer projects was to archive all of the parent chats that we do, including the handouts. Did it come up in a link for you? Do you see it there? Okay. So when we're done, this is the page where everything will go, and it's got a couple of them so far. A couple of things about Zoom. Zoom changed their chat. I no longer can see your chats. Every time you chat with me, it opens up, it makes a little folder for you, and I have to click on it in order to see what you're all saying. So yeah, so in a class of 150 kids, that's just nuts. So I can't see chats anymore. We're trying to get the developer to unlock something in our accounts. Anyway, it's just a nightmare. Always the fun thing in the beginning of the year. I remember when they brought AI on board right in the middle of one of my classes one time, and they just released it, and all of a sudden all the kids were doing all kinds of crazy things. Oh, you got to know how to roll. Okay, so so what I want you to do, I've actually changed a few things. Could you guys type me a message, just say like, hi, how's it going? Tell me something wonderful about your day. That would be great. I just want to test to see if we're trying to use a third-party app that's helping, and it doesn't look like it's working. Something wonderful, very funny. Okay. Okay, all right, so it works this way. Okay, I'm going to change a setting. You guys are just helping me with something here. Okay, now send me something. Go ahead and do it now. Go ahead and just say hi, or I have 3 kids, or boy, I can't wait for my next coffee, or whatever it is. Okay, so now it does it. Okay. We're going to have to figure out, now it's opening up all those individual chat tabs, and 150 chat tabs to click on is just crazy for it. Okay, one more test. Actually, let's do it this way. All right, now you guys can write to each other now, right? You guys can write to each other if you want. You do. Okay. I will continue to work on this. Thank you. Let's get down to business. So hello and welcome. This is Aurora with Supercharged Math, Supercharged Science. And first, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to take the summer off and come up with a whole bunch of new ideas for your kids this year. And also for coming back. We really, really appreciate it. You guys are the reason I'm here. If I didn't have any students, it'd be very boring. But you trust me with your child's education. That's not something I take lightly. So thank you, thank you. And the new things we have for you this year are actually, I have never seen them done this way before, but if you, how many of you are homeschoolers? Okay, so we homeschool for lots of reasons, and so I was thinking, hey, let's do some parent-kid workshops this year, and that's what we're doing. So we're running our personal finances, our financial literacy class, which is now a graduation requirement. Yay, finally! In I think 30 states now. That's being run as we encourage parents to take it with their kids, and we also have the astronomy, the high-level astronomy, the advanced astronomy course. And kids are going to get published in research journals, and if parents do the work with their kids, so if they take it together, you guys get published as well. So we have a lot of really exciting things to do with your kids, and I will also teach all your kids for you. So if you want the opportunity to work with your kids, it's there. If you're just like, Aurora, I need a break, that's fine, both formats this year. So that's a quick little update, but it's so good to see you all. Okay, let's dive in. So there is a handout. If you have it, great. If you totally don't have it, it's not a problem. It looks like this. We will get to the first couple of pages. The rest of it is just more of ideas for you that I had on this subject. So I spent about 15 years working on the leadership team for a lot of those large events where people come for personal growth and for different mindset shifts and that sort of thing. And so I wanted to share some of in 30 minutes some of the most powerful tools that I have learned in those environments. And so everything from Stephen Covey to Tony Robbins to all of those people that really make a big impact, can have a really big impact on people. So let's dive in. I thought what I'd do is I just tell you what the format, we're going to talk about goal setting. We're going to talk about why most people try it and why it doesn't usually work, where they get stuck. And I'm going to tell you what the format is. It's really simple. It's only 3 steps. This is not a hard one. And then we're just going to do it because you all are busy. And if I say, well, make sure you do it for homework after class, most of you will not be able to do that because we have a life, right? We have kids, we have dinner, we have lots of plans and homeschooling. Okay, so let me take you down to my desk and I'm just going to outline a couple of quick things. So first things first, we set goals because we want something, right? That seems pretty easy. So for goal setting, there's only 3 steps. Okay. If you want to set a goal, the first thing, what you're going to do is you're going to set what it is that you want. So for me personally, I can share, oh, you can't see me. I can share this one for myself. I was 60 pounds heavier. So my goal was, I want to lose 60 pounds. Okay, that in itself is a terrible goal because it doesn't give me any way of actually achieving it, attaining it. So when I say a goal, it's got to be something that is obtainable, achievable, measurable, something you can track. So I might say, I'm going to work for the next 6 months losing 1 pound a week, and I'm going to track it. I'm going to exercise, do an exercise that I love. I'm going to get 3 new friends that are in better shape than I am. And that's how, that's okay. So goal setting, the first thing is we are going to say what it is. What do you want? So you're going to say it. And by the way, this is on page 1, so you don't have to take notes unless you want to. Thing number 2, you got to put fuel in the tank, juice or fuel. This is the why do you want it? People skip this step. Number 3, you have to have strategies and actions. Tell me, how many strategies are there out there for losing weight? Is there like 1, 2, a million, right? And so, yeah. And so if that's true, why do people struggle with it? It's because they know what they want. They've got their airplane pointed in the right direction, right? They want to go from Los Angeles to New York, right? So they want to go from here to here. They've got themselves pointed in the right direction. They don't put any fuel in the tank. They don't figure out why it is that they want it. And then they get themselves a bicycle and try to make progress towards that goal. And then they get frustrated and they're like, forget it, it didn't work. Give me a smile if this is sounding familiar. Yeah. All right. We've all been there. Okay. So this is where people want to start. They don't really clearly define their goals. They usually don't even bother with the why question, which is, by the way, the most important thing in here. They jump to strategies. They want to know, well, just tell me how to do this. How did you lose 60 pounds? Just tell me, right? Don't you want to know? Okay. So the problem is, I don't care how big your why is, there are going to be mornings where if I go to the gym and exercise for 3 hours, is that going to lose me 100 pounds? No, it's not, right? So I have to think of this goal. These are for longer term goals, not things I can accomplish in 10 minutes. But I have to break it down into something that is manageable, measurable, trackable. So when I start to go off course, I have a way of tracking it, right? I fell off the bandwagon. That's okay. Come on back and we'll get back to where we are headed. So that's the main idea. And where people go wrong is they don't have the why. And what do I mean by why? So this is when the days are hard. This is where you know what you want. I really want to go to school. You're halfway through your degree and you're like, what am I even doing this for? If your why isn't big enough, you're going to drop out. If your why isn't big, if the reasons why you want to do it. So for me personally, I wanted to play with my grandkids. I wanted to chase my kids around. I was tired of always carrying I felt like a backpack of weight. And so that was enough of a why. So when those tough times came up, I had bigger reasons that were more important than what I was making important at that moment, like sleeping in. Okay, give me a smile if I didn't lose anybody yet. Okay, all right. How do you do this with homeschooling? How do you do this with your child's education? Okay, glad you asked. So my question to you starts on page number 2 of your handout. Here's page 1. Page 2, we're going to define our goals. You don't have to read all this. Basically, I want you to write and go down to the second half. It says, what do you want to accomplish this year? Okay. And it could be big, small, medium. I would try 2 or 3 different things in here, because the first one you write down or the first one you say out loud may not be the one that is it for you, that you really want to focus on this year. If you focus on more than 2, 3, 4 things, you won't be able to, it'll be too diffuse. So you just want to focus on 1, maybe 2 major things this year. I gave some examples on page 3. It says complete the 5th grade math curriculum by June. So maybe I purchased a curriculum. I am ready to complete that by June. That's my goal. I want to be able to say, yeah, we did about 90% of it. That's what completion looks like. Or we just did the experiments. Or my kid really understands it. We didn't have to do every page, right? So that would be the goal. So go ahead and think about some goals that you have. Just pick one. If it's just subject dependent, maybe you can think about a science goal. Maybe it's a math goal. Maybe your kids are bored with something and you'd like them to be excited about. That could be a goal, right? It could be anything you want. Can you write some of them here? I can just read them out. Oh, you like this? Excellent. Thank you. Hello. SMART goals. Exactly. Specific, measurable, achievable. Yep. Time dependent. Excellent. We're actually going to cover that in week 3 of our personal financial literacy class. Good. All right. Okay. And I also check email because people send in emails. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm starting to see some goals come in. Good. So someone wrote, that's a good goal. So the person that wrote in, this looks like it might have been a private message. I'm not sure. Okay, so you want to make the goal as specific as you can. So the goal that you might have is not just, I'm going to make it through the end of the year. We're looking for, what is it when this happens, you can ring the bell. You're like, yes, I know I did a good job when blank happens, right? When my kid knows enough science in their lessons, they can turn around and teach it to me. Whatever it is, my kid gets 90% or better, right? A's and B's on their work, on their graded work. Whatever it is, that's your goal. Okay, you don't have goals, you never thought of setting them. Okay, so yes, well, we're going to cover goal setting. So one of the reasons we do goal setting is so we have a target. So not everything needs goals. I know people that like to cook and they're not too picky about what comes out the other end. And that's fine. Me, I need a recipe. So it's completely up to you. So if you want to share any of these, that's fine. Okay, I want my kids to learn lessons and explain what they learned to others while maintaining their love of learning. Love it. Okay, that's great. So if your kids are getting frustrated, bored, you know that you need to do some work there. Great, that's something that you can measure. Okay, good. Good. I want my kids to work independently every day and show me what they've done. That's a fantastic goal. Learning independence, beautiful. Mastering multiplication, division, and algebra lessons by the end of the school year. Great. Okay, so you can play with this, obviously. You can figure out what the goals are for you as a family and for you and for your child's education. Teachers do this for the students, depending on the type of teacher and the type of classroom environment. They will set individual goals. I worked at a school where every student had their own portfolio and the teacher had a specific goals for them throughout the year, and the teacher had ways of following up with them, checking to make sure things were going. I also had just class-wide goals, and class culture goals could be family culture goals. Yeah, good. Okay, and then this was just to help you here. How much do you want to do this year? By when? June, or maybe you could make it December. That would be a good midpoint to put in there. And then this is your why. For what purpose? Why do you want this? Why do you want your kids to love learning? Okay, you want to spend more time on the why than the what. So the what is your goal, the why you want it. This has got to be the biggest list. If we used to say 6 to 10 reasons why. That's a lot of reasons. So if you don't have this one, none of this stuff we're going to talk about today is going to matter. So you want to spend time on your why. Why do you want this? What will it give you? What's the payoff? We always are doing things when we're constantly thinking, whether we know it or not, what's in it for me? What am I going to get out of this? And that's your why. You know, I'm going to do this because it'll make me feel good to provide my kids with opportunities I never had. Or I just love to see the look of joy in their face. Or I want to learn along with my kid because then I'm kind of getting a childhood I never quite had. And so I want to do that. So it could be any of these. All right, give me a smile if any of these are resonating, any of this stuff's making sense. We are. Okay, we're making some progress. Okay, good. And if you have any questions, I forgot to mention this, feel free to let me know in the chat at any time. Okay, help my son find joy in reading and learning his math lessons. Exactly. You know, we only get our kids for a short time, right? And those of you who have older kids, you know how it accelerates as they get through their teen years. And it's like, we don't get this time back. And so we want to make sure we've got all we can out of it. And when they're gone, they're just, you know, we're still in their lives, but we're not as big and bright in their lives the way we are right now. So yes. Okay. So that was page, somebody asked, page number 2. This is page, here, I'll write it bigger. Page number 2. Okay. You got your why, you got your goal, you got your why. And is it okay if this is not perfect and you have to go redo this? Yes, there was a time in my life where a lot of things were changing. A lot of things were out of my control. I was going a little sideways. We've all had those. And if you haven't had experiences like this, they're coming in your future. But I've had times where I have done this every single week because things were changing that much. And my whys were changing and my strategies had to change. So it's okay to do this as much as you need to. Okay. And now, so you can rewrite your goal a little bit more concisely, okay? Make sure it does have, like this is the example, complete the 5th grade math curriculum by June. Okay, so it's something that you can track, something you can measure. You know you're done when you've done, say, 90%. Say 90% of the 5th grade math curriculum by June. And the purpose to make sure my child has a strong foundation of math, boosts their confidence, and prepares them for middle school. I would also put, and they love learning, and every time they pull out their math book, they got a big goofy grin on their face. But you can make it up to you. It's up to you, whatever you would like. Okay, so we're rewriting here because it sometimes takes a few. It takes a few. Okay, so let me read some of yours. Why? As a family, we enjoy learning and sharing what we have learned, struggles and victories, and we grow together. That's beautiful. You should never stop learning. Learning is how you grow as a person, and you learn better when you're excited and passionate. I never want their excitement to be dimmed because of the fear of failure. How many people have struggled with that one? Fear of making mistakes, fear of yeah, all of us. I have 2 hands up. Okay, so good. So yes. Okay, so let me segue for a second because that's such a big one. So how many people have tried goal setting and it hasn't worked? Right. Okay. So all of us, right? Just because it's like training wheels, right? It's okay. Y'all have kids because if you didn't, well, you wouldn't be here right now. So do you remember when your kid was first learning how to walk? Do you remember this? Okay. So how many times did it take before they actually figured it out? Like once, twice, or like more than you can even count, right? Okay. Imagine somebody who doesn't have kids comes and watch your kid and they see him, you know, they take a step and it's all wobbly and then they fall over and then they're just struggling to get up and they're like, you know what, that kid's not a walker. Forget it. Just shut him off. Just forget about it. You'd be like, what? What are you kidding? My kid's going to walk, right? So magic formula. What did your kid do at 1 that we as grown-ups sometimes forget? If it doesn't work, you change your approach and you try again. Doesn't work, change it. You just keep trying until when? Until you hit like the number 6? Until you get the result you want. And that is true with goal setting, and it's true with anything, right? I had tried, I think 5 different approaches to losing weight. I wasn't satisfied. It was an absolute must for me. I had to do it. So goal setting, if you've tried it a few times or you have kind of bad taste in your mouth when you think about it, right? It just means you're in that learning how to walk stage and you just haven't figured it out yet. Usually you're real close because you've done it a few times and you have some distinctions. You just haven't gotten it all the way. We talk about this in class with students as well, so they don't give up too quick. All right, so yes, so magic formula, magic success formula. You just want to keep at it, keep trying until you get the result you want. All right, I know it sounds so simple, right? Everybody wants like something really cool sounding, and I don't have that. I just have the stuff that works. Okay, We are now on the bottom of page number 3. Can you go here for me? This is the one everybody's excited about. Developing a sequence of actions. Good. What are you going to do? If you want your kid to finish the math curriculum and you haven't printed out the teaching schedule, the daily tracker, the homework assignments, okay, you now know what action number 1 is. So one of these actions, the first one is an action that takes 10 minutes or less, because this will get your momentum going. Okay, so what is an action you can do? And it could just be put it in my planner. From 9 to 11, Monday and Wednesday, I'm working with my kid at this time. That's an action. That counts. It doesn't have to be something big. You don't have to come up with a cure for a sickness or something. It doesn't have to be something huge, right? Just an action that will move you towards this goal. So every action you take will either move you towards the goal or away from the goal. We want all of these actions to be moving towards the goal. So they don't have to do it. You don't have to do them all, right, in one fell swoop. The first one I say is in the next 10 minutes. The next action you should do within a day, and the third action within 3 days. This keeps your momentum going, and you're more likely to, because you want to set yourself up to succeed as we're going through. Okay, good. All right. Let's see. I would love that they are prepared for the world we live in and know what their struggles are and not stood in the way of their success. You can do hard things. Yes, we do want our kids to do hard things. Is that Theodore Roosevelt, right? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Dare to do mighty things. I love it. It's a children's book now, which is really cool. So yes, good. All right. Yes, this is a parent chat session. This is not a kid session. Our marine biology class is tomorrow. So yes. Okay. What else can I? Okay. Good. All right. So how are we feeling so far? Can you put the look on your face how you're feeling so I can kind of tell? We're doing good. Yeah. Doesn't it feel good to kind of get these things out of our head, because we go round and round and round and we loop, and then it gets all convoluted. It looks like a kitten got in there with the yarn ball, and it's like, wah, right? And then it comes out sideways and you're like, fine, I'm not making dinner. You do your own laundry. So it comes out messy. So we want ourselves to be organized. And when I've got too much inside, I actually walk around with this in my purse. This is for me. I'm not a digital person. If I put something on a phone, I'll lose it. So I always keep one of these. This is my brain dump book. I keep it. I organize it. I go through it. And so it helps me get the things out of my head on paper, so then I can arrange them. Okay, and that's pretty much it. You guys did it. You wrote your goal. You wrote your why. And you have your massive action plan. All right, so what's the rest of the handout? Okay, so now what we're doing is, this is actually something you're gonna do beyond class. This is, now we're gonna take that goal and make it even better. And so these are some distinctions. Remember I just said it was initially, this is complete the 5th grade curriculum, and now I'm adding with an 85% or higher average score for the course, and on the reviews and tests, and by a certain date. So I've stretched it out to include things that for measuring and tracking. The other one says, ensure my child understands and can apply key concepts in fractions, decimals, and geometry. So I might add a little bit more to this one. I might say something by a certain date, and including practical applications, things like that. Good. All right. Somebody asked a good question earlier, which is now a good place to segue. How do you know what your why is? Okay. Your why is tied to your values and your vehicles. And we don't really have a ton of time to go through this because we got 8 minutes left, but basically whatever is important to you, whether it's growth, contribution, whether it's health. Okay, so all of those things, we all have them in a certain order and sequence. There's 1 or 2 that are pretty top, and everybody's are different. The vehicles you use, there's a million vehicles. And so these are not the car like vehicles like car, beep, beep, not like that. But vehicles are the way that you get your values met. And so, for example, I use family to get my value of love fulfilled. So people use work to get the value of feeling important, right? And feeling like the stuff they does matter. They will use work, or maybe they contribute to a family. So that's where your why comes from. So that's why I can't give a specific why for you, but you'll come up with your own, like, really, what's the thing that really makes you light up and just, it passes the time flies test. You're like, wow, I could do this all day because it's like so much fun. That tells you whatever that action is in alignment with your values, right? So so that's something else. If you want resources and recommendations on figuring that out. Tony Robbins wrote Unlimited Power. That's probably one of the best. It's a really thick book. So that's one of them that you can read about. If you're interested in principles, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, really awesome too. I think there's 50 million copies of that one in circulation. So popular book. Okay, let's see. So any questions so far about what we've done? And then I can answer the specific questions that are coming in about math and science. Happy to do that. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Where do I get the form? Oh, the handout? Sure. Okay, so let me give you 2 things. This is the handout I was using. And then when we're done, we're going to put it here. So my question would be, why bother to do this at all? You know, it's just so much easier to wake up and just crack a book open and, well, because I cannot tell you, because we're on the other side, because we are the provider, like the teacher, we hear from so many families. They will say things like, you know, my daughter's in 12th grade, but she's only at a 4th grade level of math. It's like, ooh, could you have called me earlier, right? It's because people don't realize it until it's usually too late. Or parents will say, you know what, by the time they're in high school, you know, my kid doesn't want to do any work at all. And it's like, well, that had to start upstream. So it's a lot harder the older the kids are. And so we want to make sure we stay on top of these things, because some things are really easy to catch early on, like you pull the weeds out early in the garden. But if you wait 2 or 3 years and then try to, yeah, I did that. And there was actually a tree blocking my, what do you call those things you store like bicycles in and stuff? I was like, oh, it's just a weed. I don't need those old bikes. And I went in there the other day and now it's like a full-blown tree. I'm like, oh no. So we don't want to wait that long. We want to catch these things early and instill, and make sure we're headed towards what it is we're headed for. Okay, let's see. Let me go back. This is recorded. Yes, I am recording just myself, and then I will put it on that Homeschool 101 video page that I just gave you. Good. Something different from last year, printed workbooks. Everything will be in the same book. Okay, there are printed workbooks in the math program. Okay, so I guess I'm going to segue into specific questions. Let's see. It is not fun to feel like you're drowning. Preparation is very useful. Yes, exactly. Okay. So, all right, if you have any other questions about, that was it. We did our goal setting. Yay! How about I answer some of the most important questions and show you guys what's going to happen next week in the live classes? Would you like that? Okay, let's do 8 minutes of that. Okay. So next week, you all are giving me your kids, which is fantastic. Absolutely love it. And thank you. You're welcome. I hope the goal setting was helpful. I can't stress how important it is, and also it's something that it's just not just one and done. But when you're done with the goal setting, you stick it up on your bed or up on the mirror so you can look at it, and it's a constant reminder. It's not you did it January 1st and you hope it works out by the December 31st. It's something I actually turned mine into a giant poster. It's a 22 by 28, and it has my mission, my purpose, my values, my top goals, and it has everything printed, and it's right there in my closet. And I see it every time I go to pull something out. I just read one little thing on it, and so that's how one of the ways I incorporate these things. Okay, all right, so let's shift gears a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about math, because a couple of questions came in, and then we'll talk about science, and you guys let me know whatever it is you have questions on. Okay, so for the math course, you're going to click on the word courses, which is up here. And then what you'll do is, this will be gone. You do know there's a parent classroom, right? So, oh, wait, you can't see. I'm so sorry. Let me flip it over. Sticky controls sometimes. There we go. Okay, so here's the math program, and this announcement won't be here in a minute when we're done with class. There is a Connect with Parents on Google Classroom, so you guys can continue to connect. It's a safe place. It's just for grown-ups. The kids also have one that is also on Google Classroom. It's a different classroom environment just for them. They can connect with each other if they'd like to. So that's new. We're no longer on Facebook. So that's a change. So let's open up a couple courses here. So if you can do the program self-paced, or you can do it self-paced and live. Okay, you can't just do live because then you won't do any workbooks and stuff. So you can do a mix of both, and it's really up to you. It's totally up to you. All right, so if you're in, say for example, you're going to do fractions, all the all the courses are set up the same way. So there'll be a button here. If you haven't started the course, then you'll click Get Started. If you're after that, this thing turns into a pick up where you left off, and you click there and it'll pop you right back into wherever it was you were in these lessons. So you'll open them and it says Start Lesson. These are all blue, so these turn green when you mark them as done. So this thing keeps track of where you are. There's course information. You would probably be interested in this. This is what we're going to be covering this year. What should this student at about a 4th grade level know? If your kid doesn't, that's fine. We just put 4th grade because this is typically what it is. It's just on average, but you may have a kid who's a little bit ahead or behind. It's fine. Wherever they are, it's perfect. We'll meet them where they're at. What are we going to learn this year? Is right there. And the next page is a quick glance. What are we going to do this year in our fractions class? We do fractions for most of the year. And then we have also a geometry series that we start, and then we have some fun over the summer. And then this is also the main plan. So this is a real big bird's eye view. Okay. Then kids, we want them to print out their daily assignment sheet. And that looks like this. It has, every page is 1 month. Okay, and it has all the lessons you'll need 4 days a week for 4 weeks. So 16 lessons. And so every month is each one of these. And this is how students keep track of their work. And so what they'll do is on the first day, they'll come over and, well, on the first day, what'll actually probably happen is you'll go up here to where it says schedules. And so you'll click that, because that's where all the teaching schedules are. So you'll scroll down, live class schedules, and you'll expand this. And these are the same documents, the daily assignments, the curriculum guide. And then you could just click here and it'll pop you straight into that page. And so we'll click here. And then if the class has already happened, the recording will be on that page. And so we have the recordings up from last year, and so after, I'm not sure how we're going to do it this year. It might be, I'm going to see, I might be replacing this with the recording we just did this year. But so this is the recording from last year that is currently in there. And then this is the assignment. So teacher lesson, let me scroll it down. And this is the assignment. Here's the workbook, and here's the answer key. And because it's the first day, we also have how do you grade student work? So this is all on day 1 of every single course. So if you don't know how to track, use the daily tracker, how do you grade their work, this is all in there. We like it that the parents grade the work, but if you're not able to do that or you'd like your kid to grade their own, obviously it's your learning environment, you do what you'd like to. We do recommend kids at least do the tests and don't know what the answers are, flip to the back and just give it in as soon as they're done, and then you grade it. Because that's what the real world is like. So kids won't always have access to the answer to make sure, oh yeah, I got it right. So we want to make sure kids are feeling good about that process and have learned how to do that. Okay, so when they're done, you're going to mark it down here. It says mark as complete and continue. And then it goes to the next lesson, which is the next one down the line. There will be a teacher lesson at the top. And then there, as soon as it loads, there'll be a teacher lesson at the top and then homework at the bottom. Here's the teacher lesson. If there's a handout, you'll find it up here. Teacher lesson at the top and handout. Now, this is the workbook and the homework assignment. If they have trouble with their workbook, then this is the step-by-step video that walks them through the workbook. I don't do every single problem, but I get them started on every page. And so you don't have to know how to do any of this. And then this button here is the answer key. Okay, so everything is laid out. Not all lessons have teacher lessons because your kid doesn't need to sit in class 4 days a week. Every week has at least 2. If it's a little bit more complex of a topic, we'll do 3 lessons, and then they're doing their projects. So, and we're also incorporating activities. So we're using a tape measure, and we're doing the workbook. Okay. So if you want to know what all the assignments are at once, that's what this assignment tracker is. So it'll say, I don't know if you can see this, but it'll say, on day 1 of week 1, you're doing this, you're just doing 3 pages, you're going to do 2 more pages, a couple more pages, and we're walking through it, and then they will score themselves as they go through here. Okay, does that answer a lot of what's going to happen? So they're going to come to class, and I'm going to show them exactly what I showed you. I'm going to say, okay, now this is what your homework is. You're going to do your homework. If you have trouble, you're going to watch this video. You're going to watch, where did the video go? You're going to watch the video if you have trouble. Okay, and then you're gonna have your homework graded and you're done. Mark it as complete and you're done. So make sure the kids know how to do that. For algebra, and okay, so let's go back here. For fractions, do you see where it says click to order under the workbook? So you can order these. I think it's like $20 for an entire year's worth of workbooks. It's really cheap, which is great. And so most people don't have the answer key. Also, they just look at it. It's up to you. But you can order them. We don't have them available yet for algebra because algebra has 8 workbooks. And so we have not yet transitioned, and I'm still writing them. I'm still writing the intros, the front matter for them. So you'll see that in here. In fact, you can even see it. I'll show you on week 1. If you have an algebra student, we're doing pre-algebra. And at the beginning, there will be notes. The kids will, guided notes, they'll download that. Here, it'll say in-class handout. There's no recording yet because we haven't had class. So it has a button that says click to join. It has the date and time. And then this is the assignment. You can download the assignment and watch the video if you need it. And then there's a answer key. How's that so far? Is that pretty clear? Yeah, so it's meant to be as easy as possible on you. We do have reviews. We do have parties. If you joined the math party yesterday, we had a great time. I had a great time. And so we do have live reviews, and we also have printed reviews, study guides, and tests. And you can see where all those are in that daily assignment tracker because you download it for the whole year. Okay, good. How are we doing? Is 7th grade access prior grades? So if you have access questions about your membership, can you send me an email so we can look you up specifically and answer that? That would be a lot easier. Okay, so you want to do the same for science. Okay, so the good news about is there a way to refresh progress if another kid is starting the course? We already had that question answered 2 or 3 times. We don't have that ability yet. We've asked the software developers to add that feature so we can reset that. So far, they haven't gotten back to me. So I've put it in as a request. The only way we can do it is by deleting you as a user and reinstalling you, but then you'll lose whatever else was that user had done. So send me an email so we can figure it out. So we're working on it. You're having trouble accessing the workbook. Send me an email if you're having trouble accessing anything so I can help. How do we ensure each kid is doing their own work? We will assign each child their own login but you have to have specific separate email addresses. And just give us your email. Send me an email with your request so we can get that in the works for you. Yeah. All I can see is percent, decimals, and fractions. That's correct. We only have workbooks for grades 4, 5, and 6 at this time. I'm hoping we're going to get we have 23 more workbooks that are coming to be printed. I'm hoping to have those done by June. So next year you'll be able to, in the meantime, this is my workaround. Send me a request and I will give you permission to take my PDF file to a local print shop in your area and then you can print it there. So that's the only one I can think of, the only way I can think of right now. So yes. Let's see, what else can I answer here? That's all. Yes, that's all I have up currently. I had hoped to get them done this year, but making the entire math website took all my time. So you have a math website now, but now we're going to work on the workbooks. Good. Is Leah doing study hall? Yes. For those of you who have been a part of Leah's classes before, she is now a fully fledged teacher. She's teaching in Hawaii. She's got her own grade level that she's teaching. I forget what grade level is, 2nd or 3rd grade. And no, watch, I'm totally wrong and it's 7th. So I think it's the younger elementary. And so she will be doing study halls on Saturday for that reason, just because she's a working girl now. So she will continue to do them. Study halls start the 2nd half of September is when those start back up. Excellent. You guys enjoyed the math party. Yay. Excellent. We love the parties. Yes. Just email me and tell me I want permission and just tell me which workbook so I can be specific in my note because they're kind of picky. But yeah, you can take it to Staples or have it fulfilled anywhere you want. Just make sure it's just one copy and you're not all making, yeah. All right. Aurora's over here. Aurora in a binder. Okay. Science. Okay, the good news and the bad news about science. You ready? Bad news first. We tried to do an update on science and it went really badly. So this was back in July. If you got locked out, I'm sorry. I'm sending everybody donuts right now, virtual donuts. It locked us out. It kicked us out. It corrupted files. It removed membership access to everybody. So imagine, right? So yes, so I am really, really sorry. So we've been working for the past 2.5 weeks to restore the site, to get it back the way it was. We had several backups. Fortunately, they kicked in and they were working fine. Right now, there is no login box. If you look, there's no login. So literally anybody can use this website, and it's to keep from frustrating you further while we fix this. So we're hoping another week or two, and then it's going to get re-enabled. And so right now it's all open. If you want to see what the high school is like and you only got the K through 8, go for it. Go check it out. So don't you just love technology? Me, not so much. So yes. So that's what happened. I'm really sorry. I apologize. And it was totally a complete surprise. Took our programmers by surprise. They were up 24/7 working, our admin and sysadmins, and yes. So, okay, science. So getting back to science. So I actually started working on developing a brand new website. So I am excited about that. And I'm hoping in the future that it'll be done. It is not done yet. It is not a website that has really anything on it. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Let me see if I can show you. So yeah, okay, so we have our backup site working too. Good, okay. So what we have on the science website, you can go through it by 2 different ways. By the way, if you haven't looked at the Start Here page, there's a Start button right under my face right here. Make sure you look at that. It's got a parent orientation video that will really help if you're new. You can work through this program by grades, or you can work through by subject. It's up to you. If you do by subject, this is the self-paced version, the topics, and then you can add in the live class component to that. If you want to do grades and live classes, you can. They won't line up perfectly because if you look, we will say, for example, you've got a 4th grader. Okay, so you'll go into 4th grade, and these are the subjects typically taught in 4th grade, but you all are from different states, so you know, whatever is taught in your state, it might be something different. That's why we have it by topic. So if you need to do that. So here's Earth Science. You can expand that, or you can simply just click on the Earth Science button and go to Earth Science. The teacher-led lessons are over here. Here's the handout that goes with the lesson. Here's the concepts. When you're all done with and then these are all the experiments. Okay, and when you're done with that, there's a shopping list before you do the experiments and an evaluation when you're done with this section. And so this is a lot easier if you download the grade lesson plan first. It'll actually walk you through what order to do everything. So here you watch the first video, and then you do these experiments. Then there's actually 2 videos. I think I broke this one into 2. And then you do some more experiments, and then there's a learning evaluation. And then we go into energy. You watch this video, do some experiments, watch another teacher video, do some experiments, watch another video, do some experiments, and then at the end there's a learning evaluation. So everything's laid out by lesson plan for every grade. And so you can download that depending on what grade you're in. And so that's all laid out. Live classes with Aurora and with Brian. Does anybody doing Brian's classes this year? You guys are doing Brian's? Yes, he's amazing, isn't he? So Brian alternates his schedule and formatting. So last year he did MicroPython. This year he's doing Arduino C++. And so if you scroll down, this is Aurora's and this is Brian's. And you click for course information, and then you click to join the class. And so when the live class rolls around, you would just click here. And Brian has a different Zoom link than Aurora does this year. So just make sure you come back here and click to join. Right now, this is open. So if you're not sure if you want to do the live classes, click to join, and then we'll change the links and everything later. So it's fair. But if you want to kind of check that out, you can. What else? A whole bunch of questions came in. My boys love the study hall. They have no problems, and they insisted logging in for it. Excellent. So the study hall is additional. It's an extra add-on. Live classes with math are not. So we're talking about math now. So in the math program, live classes are included, and that's simply because the math program wasn't done when we were doing live classes. So we just include them for free. And then if you want the study hall, that's an add-on. In the science program, the live classes are an add-on. And what that also includes are the open labs. And that's kind of like study hall for math, only for science. So Brian has his time where he'll just have an open lab for 30 minutes. Students can come in, ask him any questions. I stay on after my Science with Aurora, and the students can interact with me and ask me questions and so forth. So yeah, so that's how that works. And in the live classes, somebody had asked, yes, we do science parties, and so and field trips and so forth with the Aurora's classes, so we definitely have a lot of fun. Good. So yeah, so the study hall is not included with math membership. Yeah. Okay, that's okay. Brian's classes are included when you have enrollment in the program. Okay, so there's no extra charge for these. If you want to do Brian's live, then you need the live classes. I hope that makes sense. I want to use biology. So biology, you can. Our biology course, Unit 26, it's not a full and complete high school biology program. So if your kid's going to take AP biology or they need credits for a college application, we don't cover evolution or creation, so it's observation based. So you'll need to add something to that. But one of our science writers from Bozeman, Montana, actually has a completely free biology course. And so if you pair his with ours, it's a complete course. So so this is a year of biology. If we have, when we have live classes, they'll be listed here. Our first one is coming up tomorrow, and it's, because we haven't done anything, it's a marine biology one, and it's just fun. Yeah, so you can use it, but just know that it's not complete. Okay, other questions. Signed up for a general. Is astronomy considered high school? So astronomy is in two places. We have Unit 7 is astronomy. That's our main astronomy unit, and that's K through 8. New this year is Unit 30. Unit 30 is advanced astronomy. This is where the students are going to be doing a college level astronomy course in high school. And the capstone project is working on being paired with professional astronomers, and that research that the astronomers are doing, you're going to help, and you'll get published in a paper at the end of the year. And as a parent, if you do this with your child, your name goes on the paper too. So if you'd like to do some research, you may. And so click on Unit 30. Well, right now it says requires 9th through 12th, but it's open because we're having website hiccups. But go ahead and check it out. I unlocked the first 2 classes, and you can see what those are like. Also download the information packet and look through it with your child, because this is a big course. This is a college level, meaning the work expectation is college and the pacing of the class is college. So, and it does require a textbook. Okay, so, and just because I just said that thing about how we don't do evolution or creation in our program, that's absolutely 100% true. This course is going to be secular just because it's a college course, right? This is not something typically taught in high school. So this is the one area where if this is not, we actually have a whole section where you can read about that in the getting started area. Like how do you do this if you want to do this, but you've never done secular before, how to succeed in this course. And there's some good ideas in here for you to think about. Okay. All right. What else can I answer for you? So yes. You were confused by the website when I logged in. The website looks different. Oh, no, I'm sorry about that. This website hasn't changed in 10 years. That's one of the biggest problems with it. So we're making a new one. Probably won't roll out till next year. Okay. Email me if you have enrollment or problems. You guys are so good. You're answering people's questions. Thank you. How sweet you all are. Loved your science courses. Aw. All right, for the advanced astronomy, it does say, download the packet, and it will say what do you need to know before, like for math skills, science skills, it's in there. This is a big packet. It has all the information you need. There's a table of contents in here. Recommended skills for this astronomy course that's on page number 8. Okay, so you can kind of see what that looks like. And if you really want to do it, I mean, there are people that have taught themselves rocket science, and because they were just so curious and interested. So this is the why. You're like, I want to be in an astronomy course with Aurora. Why? Because it's going to be so cool and amazing. That's a big enough why. Let's do it. So you'd be surprised how much your kids will learn when they're motivated, right? When they're happy and motivated. I see smiles. Okay, good. YouTube has a whole bunch of questions. Can you share tips for high school students learning math? How they can prepare for competitive exams. If you want to send me that question by email, then I can send you some links, okay? Because I think you are in India, and India's system is very different than other countries. Okay, what is the role of parents in high school? So in high school, your job is to get them ready for life, right? And so, so come join Aurora's financial literacy course so that we're doing. No, I say it as half laughing, but I'm also serious because we're going to be covering lots of things that we're going to be needing. Somebody asked about the textbook for financial literacy. I'm writing it. So I've only got this much done so far. And that's why the whole course is not unlocked yet, because it doesn't exist yet. So the book for it will be completely available to download by the end of the year. Okay, let's see. Other questions that have come in. I think we got them all. I think we got most of them. All right, are you guys excited for this year? I know I am. This is going to be so much fun, just because I'm going to be doing, somebody had asked what classes I'm teaching. It's going to be so much fun just because there are so many new moving parts, and I like new. So, so I am actually teaching. So if we go back to the course, how do we find out what Aurora is teaching? Okay, so we're going to go to schedules and schedules. Okay. So you simply look for the schedules, and so we clicked on middle and high school schedules right there. Scroll down, and all of this stuff is going to go away really soon. Live class schedules, and where's the calendar? It's always a bad sign when you can't find something on your own site. There it is, live class calendar. So you can open that up. And all of these classes, fractions, decimals, and percent, are taught on Mondays. I'm teaching those. Algebra 1 and geometry for high school. I'm also teaching 7th and 8th middle school math. I am also teaching. Where's Doug on this calendar? Doug's classes are going to start the 15th, and the topic is going to be determined by who shows up on the first week. So we have a good idea of how big each one of the classes is going to be. So Doug is going to come in, and we're going to offer a second series of classes for the largest groups. Okay, so, and I will let you know what those are after the first week. So good. So yes, I'm doing lots and lots of classes. Lots of fun. Brian's classes are included with the eScience subscription. That is correct. So yes, that is correct. Where do you get the code for Google Classroom? They're right here. So if you go to the top, say for courses, if you're on the math program, then all you do is you just click the link, and it has the code embedded in it, and it'll just take you right over to Google Classroom as we wait impatiently. There we go. This is the one for students, math students on Google Classroom. This is the one for parents. If you go back to the Supercharged Science website, it's on the main page. It was on the main page. Where did I put it? Oh, maybe I put it on the live. I put it on live classes, I think. It's all the way under the calendar. There it is. So on the live classes page, connect with other students. This is the student science Google Classroom. And then this is the same parent one. Math and science parents are together. Okay, so you can see it. It's again on live classes. Scroll all the way down, and you'll see the one for science. Good. Okay, Doug's courses are on the calendar. So if you want the master calendar that has both math and science together, it is here. It is this calendar. So science is here, and math is that one. And that page is right here. There you go. Okay. Okay, I'm so excited about the advanced astronomy. Why? Because I want to laugh and have fun while learning. Being published is a huge motivator. Oh, I know, right? So I cannot wait for you to meet the professional astronomers I've been working with. One of them these are people that really know what they're doing, which is great because that's what you want when you do something new. One of them has helped over 700 papers being published, not 700 students, 700 papers to be published in 8 years, I think. So yeah, so he's doing the super advanced kids, which maybe your kids will get to in a few years. You have to be at least, I think, 16 or 18 to go on his. You can actually get in a car and go to Mount Wilson and stay with him for the week at the observatory and his big group that he has, like 30 students. He takes students of all ages, and he does some speckle infrarometry and up at Mount Wilson, which is super fun. So he's actually doing that in 3 weeks. So parents, would you like to go? Do you want to see what that is? Just for grins, because we're way beyond our class time, and this is all going to get cut out of the recording. Published research seminar, September 21st. Here, so if you want this one, this is Russ Janae that I'm talking about. So if you really want to go crazy, you want to see a picture of him and his students. So he's crazy with about getting kids published. So that's him there. He's actually on our math website, kind of by accident. I needed a picture of myself. Where did it go? Support. I think he's on the support page. That's him in the middle. And that's his wife, Cheryl. And so notice how tall he is. Yeah, so that's Russ. So he loves helping kids. And he used to fly fighter planes. He developed lots of really interesting engineering projects and stuff. Amazing guy. Okay. So will we do show and shares? Yes, it's going to depend. So this year I have my science class, and then we have advanced astronomy. So my aim is to get done with science by in 40 minutes, and then have 20 minutes open for the show and shares. And then if that doesn't work, which it may not because I talk a lot, as you can see from this class, then we'll have a different tight day for Aurora's open labs for show and shares. Yeah, exactly. Good. Yes, that is awesome, isn't it? Exactly. You said financial literacy isn't finished. Oh, it's because I'm doing it week by week. It's already finished. It's the first, I think, four lessons are completely ready to go. I think I only released one of them so far, but I'd love your feedback on them. That's why I was going to crunch it out and do it completely this summer, but I wanted your feedback as we do it. So you're going to tell me because it's new. And so you're going to tell me about that. Where is financial literacy? So you go to courses and then you scroll down and you'll see it. And it's included in enrollment if you have grades 7th on up. So you just hit personal finances and you'll see it in here. And you'll just print out, every week has guided notes, and it also has the lab. And so there's an intro video where I actually show you some of the program. Watch that, please. And then course information. You'll want to go through this with your child to make sure they understand what they're getting into, because this is a big course. And in the future, you can do it as one semester, but right now it's just going to be taught over a full year. And everything is in here, who this course is for, what we're going to cover, and how the course is going to work. And we actually also have a book club. Who are my parents that like books? Do I have any parents? Yay! So we're going to have a business book club that students need to, don't need to, but they can enjoy if they would like to. So they're going to watch a lesson, and then they're going to do the lab, and then they're going to discuss it with you. That's the part of the project as well. And so course expectations are in here. Everything you need is in here. The syllabus, what we're going to work on each day and each week throughout the entire year. And where's my book club page? There's a book club somewhere. It's in here. It talks about the books and calls out all the books we're going to be reading. There it is, student assignment. So there's going to be a business book club. So every month they're going to read a portion, just a few chapters of a different book, get it from the library or get it used. These are going to be books that are not new. We start with Stephen Covey's book, and then we move into the 1 Minute Manager, and you can actually see them all listed here. Okay. And so that's going to be an option add-on as well. And students are also going to do a reflections journal every single week. That's part of it. They have to do some writing, and then there's a sample here. And so that's also included. So at the end of the year, they will have, in their own words, what they got out of it and what they're going to do and what their plans are going to be. So something I'm not sure how to phrase it, but they're actually going to be working with money. Like, one of their first things that they're going to do is find ways to earn money, because work is how we earn money. It's not just handed to you. So you being actively engaged and involved with this process is going to be key. So whether they're going to start offering to wash your car, babysitting, make sure you already know in your family whether you pay people for chores or not. That's a family decision. In my family, we do not. We pay $1 a week. It's really bad. $1 a week. And then on our family, we have a menu on the side of the fridge, and it has jobs and how much we will pay for them. And at any time, kids are available to do the jobs. And so that way there's no struggle or hassle. But kids, it's going to be on them to start earning an income. And it can be just, $1 a week. It could be $5 a week. It could be $40 a week. Whatever they're at, doesn't matter the amount, just as long as they're starting that process. And so I don't know how to phrase that exactly, but we're going to talk about it in class. Because that's, and we're going to be filling out tax forms. We're going to be learning about investments. We're going to be learning about everything. Well, I shouldn't say everything. We're going to be learning about the things I wanted to learn about when I was their age. All right. So how do you join the book club? That's part of the financial literacy course. Whoops. That's part of this course. So you don't have to do anything special to join. There will be discussions that will be taking place outside of regular class time that they can participate in if they'd like. Okay, good. All right, how did I do? Will you do show and shares? Oh, wait, I think I did that question. Great, thank you. My daughter is 7th grade, wants to do astronomy. So I know we're going to have some advanced to middle schoolers in the Unit 30 Advanced Astronomy. So you're welcome to try it for the first few weeks. If it fits, great. If not, the recordings will be there. You can do them anytime. Okay, you can do them later. You could take the course and do it slower. You could take longer to do the course. So it's up to you. I can't say don't learn this. That'd be silly. So good. Is there a way to be on both sites? So, both sites, as I have 5th and 7th graders. So these are two completely separate websites, the math and science. So you just you can set your username and password to be exactly the same thing if you want, but they're two separate logins, two separate websites. My husband and I will be doing financial literacy and advanced astronomy. Oh, wow, nice. If you need recommendations for books on business, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We have ours, but hey, once you read one, you definitely want to read more. I'm interested in taking the literacy with my kids. I hope you do. Finances affects everybody. This isn't something you're going to shove your kid in a room and say, learn this, and then come out when you're ready. This is something that's going to involve a lot of conversations, talking, because you have life experience you need to share with them too. Those conversations need to start happening. Will start happening at the dinner table. The kids are going to be like, hey, Mom, I learned about this today. What do you think? And so it's fantastic, and just know it, and as we do this, we're going to remind kids, hold this with an open hand, right? There are certain principles that we're going to learn, and there are multiple ways of doing it, right? Just like multiple strategies for losing weight, multiple strategies for reaching our goal, a lot of different opportunities. Okay, we are doing math and science. Okay, I was just talking about the math side of your website. Yes, you can have like 2 or 3 computers in your house all logged into math. Is that what you mean? If it's not, I'm sorry, tell me what you mean. Financial literacy is geared, it's for middle and high schoolers. They have to at least have finished fractions, decimals, and percent. Otherwise, the calculations aren't going to make sense. But after that, they don't need algebra for financial literacy. So when your kids are ready, they have the skills they need after percent once they've completed the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade level stuff. Good. So the course we have will satisfy, California's requirements come out this month. So a lot of states are still scrambling to figure out like what are the requirements and what should they be, and because there's money involved, right? And so the only people that now have a complete, well, no, I shouldn't say the only, most of the schools are now being offered free financial literacy. Here, you want a story? Here it is. Free financial literacy course materials from banks, from credit card companies, from big places like this, and it's free. And so I signed up for all of them. I got all of them, as many as I could. And then that's when I turned to my husband and I made this gurring sound like, this is wrong. And he's like, what is it? And I'm like, they're teaching kids that it's okay to be in debt. I'm like, kids are at a great space. They have a lot of time, right? For investments, for long-term retirement investments. They're young and they have no debt. I'm like, let's get them the right beliefs. And he's like, well, do you want to make a course? I'm like, yes. So that's where this course came from. I am not a financial planner. Don't think about that. But I have life experience, and I want to see things in there. And I've actually talked to a lot of people who have financial literacy courses who are teaching them, the teachers who are trying to use these, and the administrators that are making the decisions to purchase financial literacy course materials for their schools. And they're frustrated too, because they're looking at this and like, this is still not right. And so the people that were the first out of the gate were, of course, the ones that have the most to gain from it, credit card companies and so forth. So yeah. So anyway, so I've been working with not only financial planners, but people that have experience, bookkeepers, accountants, people that deal with this stuff on a regular basis to make sure everything's as accurate, as updated, and also in a format that's easy for kids to understand, because it gets really confusing fast. And so my husband's like, are you sure about this? I'm like, yeah. So the two of us are going to teach it together. So you're going to get me and my husband. So yeah, so he's the pilot that comes on every so often. He's so shy. He's like, oh no, he'll be sitting over there and you'll never know it. I'm like, come on, come over. And he's like, mm-mm. So I told him he has to help because this is something that we both do together. So yes, so we want to make sure you have accurate, good information. And then the other thing I wanted to share was, just because we're going to cut this out of the recording, is the people that are teaching it, the people that have been authorized to teach these new financial literacy courses in like public schools are math teachers. So in general, they're math teachers, and most of them, I found one person, but all the others that I interviewed and talked to had actually didn't practice the principles they were teaching. Right? You're like, whoa, hang on a minute, right? And so they're talking about opening a Roth IRA. They're talking about this. I'm like, so you have one, right? And they're like, well, no, I actually never did that. Or they're living month to month. And so they don't practice the principles they're talking about. And they're just talking about strategies. It's like a patchwork quilt and nothing matches. And so we're going to start with mindset first. We're going to talk about SMART goals. We're going to talk about, you'll see the syllabus. And we've outlined it in a way where we layer the foundations. And we'll also make sure that it satisfies high school graduations requirements. So we're excited about that. And we throw in some business stuff. Kids are going to be thinking about a business, starting their own business. They're going to help other businesses. They're going to be financial advisors and consultants to people. We have some case studies from real people. We're going to bring those forward, and your students are going to help solve some problems for them. So it's going to be done in a really innovative way. So I'm excited about that. I should probably stop talking now because it's been an hour for our 30-minute class. It looks great. Oh, thank you. And I'm fine with feedback. People give me feedback whether I want it or not. So, and I like that you guys are usually pretty nice about it. You guys are laughing. Yeah. So one lady told me the other day, you're the reason my kid hates math. I'm like, oh, okay. I know I'm not a right package for everybody, but did you have to say that? So, but I appreciate your feedback on anything we're doing, so we can make it easier and better. And so I came back and I said, yes, but how's our customer service? And she goes, your customer service is amazing. Somebody actually calls me back. I'm like, well, at least we do something right. So, all right. So, what else? I think, did I answer most of your questions? Did I get most of it? It looks good. Thank you. Oh, they enjoyed the math party. Oh, I had a funny comment about that. A parent wrote in and she's like, I was so impressed. You had fourth graders and you had my 17-year-old, and he was just as excited as some of those little guys were on there. She goes, I don't know what you did, but thank you. So I was like, yay. Okay, so you're going to let me know how I can support you this year. You're going to send me emails. If you don't get a response back in the same day, something's wrong. I didn't get it. Send it again. Everybody else does. So I get about 500 emails a day. Feel free to join the crowd. And I have those of you who don't know, I do have 3 assistants. I have Tanya, Crystal, and Remy. So you may get responses from them, or you may get a response from me. We try to batch them out each day. When the school year starts, it tends to be a little hectic. One year, I think during, I still have it written down. We had almost 300 on Zoom, 500 on a private player. Was it 40 on YouTube, 300 on Facebook? So we had over 1,000 students in class the first time, live. So just know that there'll be a lot of people initially, and after the first few weeks, then it kind of goes down to be more manageable. So yes, so if I don't get to you right away, just send it again so you're at the top of my stack. Okay, how are we feeling? You were the reason my oldest daughter, Krista, likes math. She felt like she hated it before she found you. Aw, thank you. Oh, thank you. Largest class ever? I want to say we were trying to break the world record at one point, but then they changed the rules and it couldn't be online. And with that year, it was, I want to say 17,000 was our largest. So largest in person was 1,200. So we still do online, we still do live. You know that my son took that over, right? My camps and stuff. So yeah, he's actually, he came home the other day and he's like, hey mom, you want to teach summer camp? I'm like, Ben, you see this? It says retired. And he's like, yeah, but it'd be so much fun to teach with you. And I'm like, okay, when? He goes, December 22, 23, and 24. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't want to be teaching then. I'm like, this is time with family. He goes, yeah, our whole family can go and teach. And I'm like, you're 23. Of course you're thinking this. Of course you're thinking this, right? And so I'm like, could they do it in January? And so he has a group of, he made friends with a principal of 10 different schools in Los Angeles. And they want to get all of their schools together and have a great big 3-day supercharged science experience. So he's like, Mom, I'm going to need your help. I'm like, oh. Sure. I mean, what am I going to say? No? I mean, yeah, no to right before Christmas, but yeah, so I'll be in LA soon. Okay, so I am excited. We're here to help you. Let me know. Is it only for LA schools? It's Magnolia. Have you heard of Magnolia? In LA? Those of you who live in LA, it's in Santa Ana. They have, it's a math and science academy. And so we were there over the summer. Yeah, we were there in July and did a full week. But they hire us to go in there and do that for their school. So that's how we know. I don't know if I don't think they're gonna open it up because that's a lot of kids so far. So each school has like 500 to 800 kids, I think. We'll see what happens. Not everybody would show up. I'm hoping not everybody shows up. Okay. All right. So lots of fun. I'm excited. We are going to have a great year. I'm going to wrap this up, put the recording on the website. You are going to tell me how I can support you. If you are stuck, let us know. We're real people who are passionate about what we teach, and we love kids, and we like to be helpful in the world. So that's what drives us. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a beautiful day, and I look forward to an amazing year. All right, get to work on your goal setting as well. I will see you later. Bye-bye.